Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of NVTV. Today we want to talk to you about some business products you need to know about. So Britt, thanks for talking to us today.
Thank you, Katie, for having me.
Let's just start out with what is your background in this industry?
Sure. So I've been in banking for 6 years now in various positions, and currently I hold the treasury management position, and I've had that for 2 years.
So Brittany, just starting out, what are some of the products that banks especially can offer that can help businesses utilize their cash flow better?
Sure. So we have a lot of those type of products that make banking easy for businesses. One of those would be ACH, which is our automatic clearinghouse. This allows businesses to offer direct deposit, which gives their employees their money quicker and creates less of a time to do payroll for their employees. Wires is another one. It's an easy, fast way to move money. We also have mobile deposit capture, which is that nice, convenient snap of a picture of a check to deposit it, and eliminates going to the bank. And then we also offer remote deposit capture, which is a scanner that businesses can have. This is for our businesses that have large volumes of checks to run through, and again, it eliminates going to the bank. Online bill pay is really convenient for businesses. It does an automatic bill pay for you, and it reminds you when your bills are due. We're all very busy, so it does eliminate the headache of trying to remember when to pay your bills. A good one for businesses to have is the acceptance of debit and credit cards, which we call merchant services. Another good one for businesses that have large cash deposits is our promontory network. This allows you to be FDIC insured over the $250,000 limit.
So let's talk about that a little bit, because if you're not in the banking world, I think you hear about FDIC when you open your account, because we are required to talk about that. But it's a lot of times kind of not something you think about when you open an account. So that's interesting for businesses. So can you tell us a little bit more about how that works?
Sure. So North Valley Bank is partnered with a promontory network, which if you bring in over $250,000, we can divide that out into increments of $250,000 with the other banks that are partnered with promontory, which gives you the FDIC coverage, but at the convenience of one bank.
That's nice. So do customers even, is there really any effect to the customers when that happens?
No effect. It just provides that coverage that businesses really are looking for.
So it's really a security for accounts. So one of the products you talked about that I'm interested in learning more about, and I think other businesses would be too, is the remote deposit capture.
Sure.
Can you tell me a little more about that and how it works?
Well, it's a great solution for businesses that can't make it to the bank or have large volumes of checks daily. This allows them to have a scanner at their location and deposit when they want. So what it does is you would load in your checks, it would scan them through, and it would send an image of those checks to the bank to be deposited.
That's really convenient.
Yeah.
Not just saving money with just going to the bank, but you don't have to pay somebody to go do it
Correct,
for you.
or the liability of sending your employees to make the deposit for you. And the other great thing about the remote deposit capture is you deposit on your own time. And sometimes businesses hold on to those checks for days because they can't make it to the bank right away. Mm-hmm. So this gives them the ability to deposit at night when they finally have a chance to make a deposit after a busy work day. So it is a very nice product and convenient for businesses to have.
Right. Another one that you talked about I think would be really convenient, especially for small businesses, is the ACH. Because I think there's some small businesses out there that think direct deposit's going to be really hard to get their business to do. Mm-hmm. Do you see that being a pretty big benefit for local businesses?
Well, yeah, businesses also tend to think that it's just a cost that they could eliminate, but really it's eliminating your cost of time that you're spending on doing payroll. It's eliminating sometimes the cost of the check, the cost to have the ink, a couple other conveniences is more to the employee because they get their checks at a time where they don't have to worry about going to the bank to make the deposit of their, sometimes employees are check to check and they need those funds right away.
Right.
ACH also helps eliminate fraud because they're no longer sending out their checks, which have all their account information, which we do see a lot of fraud happening and people stealing checks. And another product that we have that protects cash flow is the positive pay feature. So positive pay is something that You would upload all of your information of what checks you've dispersed, and then we verify those checks that clear your account to that software, if ACH isn't something that businesses want to go, but just another product that protects cash flow.
A lot of banks offer accounts that it's only free if you have a direct deposit. So that seems like it'd be a huge benefit and a cost savings for your employees. And you don't have to be a huge conglomerate bank to be able to do it. And I think that's a good thing that we can talk about that. So if a business wants to talk to their bank about it, what should their first step be?
Just asking the question, a lot of businesses up front want to know what that fee is. So, we can break that down and show where the savings could come into play. So just asking your personal business banker, I'd like to get started with this, please help me, or what's my next step? Right,
and we talk about this all the time, that's another reason why it's key to have a personal banker that you know and trust and knows your business needs, that can sit down and talk to you about it. And I think that's personally, and I know you feel the same way, that's where local banks really are key for this.
Yes, key factor in that.
Right. So these products seem like they can save people some money and time, obviously, with having to go to the bank. How do you see all of this technology helping businesses?
So technology has been great because it allows businesses to work at their own pace and allows them the ability to work from home at their own time and not making the time to stop at the bank, which we love seeing you all, but we also want to make banking easy and simple. So the technology allows you that convenience of on your own time.
Right. What of these products that you've kind of touched on each of them a little bit, but which of these products do you think would be good for our smaller local businesses?
Sure. So, we have a lot of small businesses in our area, and I think the best ones that they can benefit from are the automatic clearinghouse, making payroll simpler and easier for them instead of trying to do it the long way and write out your checks and track it that way, because ACH gives you that format of tracking. Mobile deposit capture is great for our small businesses because they can take a picture of the check that they may be receiving from a payment. And then acceptance of debit and credit cards. Everybody has one basically, and that allows them to get their cash flow quicker if they're accepting those debit and credit cards.
So a lot of businesses use other mediums for their merchant services. One of them that we see a lot typically is Square. How does that compare with what banks or other financial institutions can offer?
Sure. So North Valley Bank can be competitive with Square. We would like to do a cost analysis. We'd like to see a statement of what your currently activity levels are. That way we can show you where your cost savings could be.
How does that work with the deposit? Just as someone who doesn't use it, I don't know how that works.
Sure. So there's a lot of variables on that, but there can be next day funding for deposits, but it all depends on what type of business you have.
Right. I have friends that have businesses and they use Square, and I know sometimes it can take them a few days before they actually get their money in. Is that typical? Does everybody have like a few days wait, or can it be, same day, end of day, things get deposited?
Sure. It can work both ways. And like I said, that all depends on what type of business you have. So it can be available for next day funding. So it just ask and, stop in and see your banker and let them know what you're currently using, and we can provide you some information and do a free cost analysis and compare apples to apples.
Thank you, Brittany, for sitting down with us today.
No problem. It's been
fun. I appreciate
fun.
your time. Thanks, guys, for watching. As always, like we always say, if you have questions, leave them below in the comments or send us a message like most of you do. We're happy to get back with Brittany. We'll get you some more information. Please know your local banks do have a lot of products that really will help your business's cash flow and will help your time as a business owner. We've done a lot of interviews with business owners, and everybody says the biggest thing you have to be able to have is your time. So these products will help you. Give us a call if you want. We'll get you in touch with Brittany. We'll let you know more about them. So hopefully we'll hear from you soon, and thanks again for watching.